All right, we're now ready to start working on building up our framework for our application. So before we do that, I'm just going to recap in this video and I'm going to clean things up just a tad. So because I'm going to be doing a lot of insertions and deletions, I'm going to stop that. And let's go ahead and jump into our client application SCSS. We're going to nuke all of that code from our styles. Application JS, we're going to remove everything but importing our application SCSS. For our images, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a background image. That was just for illustrative purposes. So we can nuke that, I think. Yeah, why not? And then for our server is good. That's all good. For our shared, I'm going to remove test. And so again, my build, I'll delete my public build folder. All right, so that's our project skeleton. From this point on, we are going to be mostly concerned about what happens in these three source folders. But I hope you guys enjoyed setting that up. And it's a very, very, very powerful way to do development. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to initialize a Git repository. So let's initialize that. And I really like, oh god, the 17,000 files. That's because it's including my node modules. The reason I'm initializing a Git repository is because it's very, very good practice. I encourage everybody to do that. And the other reason is so I can go back if I mess up a video. So let's go ahead and initialize that repository. But before we commit, add a git ignore file. And for the git ignore, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to ignore node modules. We're going to ignore build. We're going to ignore public build. And I think that's going to be it. So save that out. And now you see we only actually have 11 files. So those are literally the only files we've created so far. And I'm just going to do this initial commit. And I'm going to hit Control Enter to commit that. But another benefit of doing that within Visual Studio Code is, let's say I came into my source client application and started typing things in. Notice how it'll tell me what's been changed, and it'll also tell me when things have been removed or when things have been replaced. So if you're following along, make sure that you pay attention to the left-hand side to see what was added in that particular video. Hope that'll help you guys out, because I do intend on committing after every video from this point forward. But really, we only have a couple files that are really important here. We have our Webpack client, which is the most complex configuration. You know, that does really look terrifying, doesn't it? And our Webpack server, a little less complicated. And then our gulp file, which our gulp file we're mostly deferring into Webpack, so there's not a whole lot of stuff. But I'm just scrolling through this guy for you guys. And with that, I think that wraps up the skeleton. And the next stop is to build up our application framework. We're going to be wrapping some Socket.io stuff, and we're going to be creating hot reloadable JavaScript modules and doing a whole bunch of fun stuff. So we'll see you guys in the next video.